And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fair. Knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. That 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. These two teams, of course, the Titans and Ravens, met in the postseason a year ago, and really, along with the Titans win the previous week in Foxborough, it was one of the shockers of the postseason. The Titans a 6th seed on the road. The Ravens, they were the top seed, riding a 12-game win streak and coming off the first-round bye, but where that game was all Tennessee, they led 28-6 at one point, ultimately winning 28-12 and sending them on to the AFC title game in Kansas City. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Charles, we get a look at the draft class here for this team. What do you think?
Well, I think for the most part, I do like what they did because, to me, they got some solid players in the early rounds. And then if I'm correct in my evaluation, they got some great value in the later rounds as well.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
First down.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown.
Tennessee.
Derrick Henry. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your side. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And I like his honesty because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say, that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about is when he told us about the defense, kind of corralled him in the locker room and said, all right, well, man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Not sure I agreed with the decision to go for it, but I definitely agreed with his decision to run it. He picked up that big first down. I think he let his head coach off the hook.
That's what I was just going to say. If there's anybody more happy than the quarterback picking it up, it's the coach that saw him pick it up. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Quick slant to Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
11.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Throwing is Jackson. Rolling to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver, but now it's third and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasize ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
They had 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd and 7, Tannehill. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 16 yards, a first down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
That's complete, middle of the field to Humphreys. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Tyus Bowser in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and a long way to go. Tannehill, and he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
Complete to number 80.
Great change up there on the route and got that in inside release made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside. Make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 20.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Escaping the pressure right. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. 78 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys
That's what I'm using right now. That shit is not good.
Hard to stop.
My man, security ain't never ran it, and I want to run it on my Hunter.
More difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
No, we'll get the people.
And the pressure gets to him again. Tyus Bowser make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And down he'll go.
Motherfucker shot me $500, man, to do my goddamn.
They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had
$500 to replace my windows.
Still almost work. Got it to the running back.
Two
Windows,
man. Somebody broke my shit.
And they were able to rally and
Bad in the motherfucker. Boy, they lucky I ain't catch their ass. They would have been missing.
1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will
I had a dude run up on me in the fucking Dollar General like 3 days ago. I was in the fucking freezer and I heard somebody right behind me. And I turned around, this dude like fucking not even a foot from me. I'm like, what did you say, man? He's like, give me everything you got. I was like, are you fucking serious?
I would have said, all right, hold on.
Yeah, no, I did. Put that fucking block on him.
I would have pulled that motherfucking out on his ass, boy.
At least you shoot him in the foot.
No. If I would have seen a gun, I'm blowing you away, bro. It's just
yeah. No, he didn't have nothing, bro.
That shit don't work right. You know that shit don't work right. I might ask you that. Why'd you shoot him? I'm like, when I felt like
first and 10, it's Jackson.
I'm fucking scared. That's why I unloaded the clip, motherfucker. What you mean? I unloaded the goddamn clip. I was scared.
Had his fucking hand in his pocket, bro. But as soon as he pulled it out, he like, oh, I'm just playing, bro.
It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's ability. The Baltimore wide receivers.
Oh man, you sure this is what you want to do with your life?
Receiving yards combined last year.
I'm ready now.
That was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
He's either fixed on stupid or just. I think he was serious. Just want to see if I was going to throw something down.
Right.
Some motherfuckers, they just walk in there and try their luck.
But I'm gonna be honest, man. If it's me, man, and somebody say that, my first reaction, if I don't see a gun there, I'm going for the gusto. I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. First come, first serve. I'm swinging. Now, if you got a gun, then you already know what I'm. Send you home, my friend. He's calling.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought at first it must. I just knew it had to be somebody I knew. But like I figured out real quick. I'm like, I don't know this motherfucker, man.
And now he is into the end zone.
Fuck that. I'm like, bro, don't play. I got kids. I got
Jackson.
This is the problem we want. We ain't gonna be here to take care of the problem.
And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, through the air and in the end.
Motherfuckers, they don't fight nowadays. If you want to fight, we can fight.
Nah, bro, these young kids, man, they rather just shoot you or stab you.
Nah, they ain't stabbing. They ain't even that nice. You gotta be nice with the knife game.
I know I ain't.
You gotta be nice with that knife. You do. What are you doing? This motherfucker gonna pull out a knife? Okay. They pulling out a pistol, man. And then look at it. Most of these young boys, they so skinny.
Well, most of them like 14 years old, man. When I was 14, I was smoking weed and chasing pussy, man. And kids out here like jacking cars and shit.
102 fucks. But they sit there and you know, look at these rappers doing that. Bro, the rapper that you over here think that's the shit, bro. That motherfucker ain't but 5'5". 110. Man, I'll mop the fucking floor with 5 of you at one time. Come on, bro. Let's be real. Come on, Carter.
The Titans
I thought you was up with us, man.
That 7-0 lead in there.
What you mean? I'm fighting Crota right now.
No, I'm Army.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
God damn, keep missing.
Throwing again on second down. Tannehill. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Tannehill.
Out of sword, Emma.
They set up the screen for Henry. Escapes the
kill all the ass
defender. And out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give them 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
First down, Titans.
Turn green, we can pop out.
To the air again, Tannehill. They'll get this to
I don't know why I stood there, but
and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Listen to this motherfucker. He actually comes now.
5 yards on the catch.
He gonna come at the end and spit on him after we done unload goddamn.
Soften him up, try to put it 6 seconds. Oh, here we go. Yeah, soften him up.
Tannehill throwing again. This complete to Henry over the middle. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Don't you ever pull me out when I'm
First
fighting,
down,
bitch.
Tannehill. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big hitter.
Nobody gonna beat all 3 of them niggas. Crazy.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Again, Tannehill.
Damn
It's
it.
caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A.J. Brown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Yeah, you seen that shotgun slug that they got? It's a clear cartridge, and it's like a dumbbell, a mini dumbbell rounded off.
Quickly fading here in the second quarter.
Jesus, can you imagine?
Offensively, they want to play this.
They got that, and then they got an RIP round for the shotgun.
In this situation, if they decide to take a
shot, RIP rounds ain't no hope, but you get hit with that, boys. I'm sorry.
RIP.
See here, for real. And that shit, you get like what? 10 of them for like 40 bucks? Something like that. It's a crazy price. Some what?
Mass cutters, bro. That's my favorite fucking shotgun, man. It's too light.
Go. Jump in the portal. Jump in the portal, jump in the portal, jump in the portal, jump in the portal.
That's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise.
Good shit, great time.
Teams tie the game up. It's a little bit of a...
All right, when you come down,
you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown.
I'm going to do it because I have to do it with her. With my hunter. So it should do it for you as well. Don't touch nothing.
Oh shit, my bad.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kicks away.
I came up and hit the fucking thing right behind me.
5 yards deep.
Oh, okay, let's wait for him to clear out. Let's wait for him to clear out.
Yeah, I was like literally hitting it right when you said don't touch it.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's walk back down here.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
So we have reached halftime with a
winning games this season.
On the scoreboard.
Now we got to go all the way back.
To Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports
it's no big.
halftime
It'll clear out.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks
Is there such a thing in Dusty?
around the NFL on this first
All
official
the way
weekend
up.
of fall. So let's get to it. We'll start things out with the battle for Ohio. This one at First Energy Stadium as Cleveland hosts Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. The Bengals trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis.
Wait, we gotta wait for him, bro.
US Bank Stadium.
I'm right
And they
here.
have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks.
Good job, Tom Brady.
22-17 was the final.
This bitch still in the lead 3 years later.
In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Check him out. Nigga throw a wobbly ball, that bitch went for a touchdown.
Why is all of them lit up now?
I don't know.
That shouldn't be like that.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown
right
game here as we get set to resume play in the second half.
All right, now you'll get a new quest.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Taken in at the 3.
Did you get it?
Quite make it to the 25.
First and 10. At their own 24.
Like I said, the first part was, I don't know. I know what to do, but it's somebody else talking.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what Tex put on.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
He got 2 people, so that's 5, 6 who joined us.
Hold on, I gotta change my man, and I gotta do this in the tight.
Yeah, I got one letter for the Ravens.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let me change the tight.
Trying to do it with my heart.
You need a wall out.
I'm still about 10 minutes off. 15 minutes off.
Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson
we probably need a warlock.
his legs a little bit tired. He's got him on.
Yeah, I got
This defense looks gas.
So let me see.
Exactly right.
I'm gonna run a warlock tonight. I didn't finish it yesterday.
Jackson.
I have a warlock.
I'll bring him.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I need to close my warlock.
Raven first down.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
46-yard line.
Tex.
Yep.
So yeah, I just really started getting my character right. So he got blue gear, he got as my heavy and shit. I'm trying to see. I could put it in my vault and transfer, right?
Third and
fuck it up, right?
They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
So they're just glitching out for me because it says your things look
glitched here because they're playing this game now.
No, I'm at 1260.
This is ball control.
Yeah, you can put your hunt in.
Taking their time and
yeah, no, I'm going with my hunter. That's what I'm
looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Yeah,
certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football.
Might want to bring over some weapons.
The play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now he'll pull it down.
Lamar Jackson. That's good.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
7 yards, the pickup there.
My next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens will add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
I think we have 5 if you want to join.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a
security coming in.
One coming in. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. They trail offense. First time to touch the ball in Q3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams say, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to...
Security.
Security is there.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Ball on the 30. They'll come in with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Henry.
Yeah.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. There's some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
He's across midfield.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through.
You were asking what a
match was. Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank.
I can't remember if it's like quarter-ounce balls or what, but they're put to a tank.
6, 3rd and 7 or more. Because that's how you
made for like
just too much
cutting dead bolts and all that shit.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. They'll try the air now with Tannehill.
Fucking master key.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, he comes to the sidelines, he didn't knock the ball free.
Leave her alone.
Coaches are upset with you. Right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Because here come the defenders.
What is it?
From the 31, Jackson. He's going to take
I don't know
off
what
with
you're
it.
saying.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Stop.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Open what?
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Is that low?
Yeah, just first down. Man open left side is Brown. And out of bounds.
Just realized that right there.
That puts him in excellent position. First and goal after a gain of 19.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
You can pass it back to me once I try quick.
They'll try to run with Dobbins.
Or you can just give it to me. I'll take it back.
For a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins.
His name is Logan. Loped out next to Logan.
Game number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K.
I ain't gonna have my abilities gonna be low as fuck.
Justin Tucker in the kickoff football.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
I'm using my time to
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to move. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces at the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And the Raven pressure too much.
Oh, that's the same
And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They got 9 sacks in the season, more than 3 games.
Oh. Situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Well, it's caught on the right side and Smith. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively.
Gotta explain to
him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Yeah, so...
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. So, in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. We'll check on his status when we get back. Tannehill on 1st down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers.
You got to be inside the shelter,
really
hit the line.
Probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. Looking sideline, incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Yo, whose mic is
On
that?
2nd and 10, Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I don't even hear anything. What do you...
3rd down. They've hit it 50%. 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
That's what warmed the heart essence of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the 7-yard line.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked at it and said, okay,
give me the goddamn ball.
If we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward.
Make sure it's not inside. Make sure it's like right outside.
He's going to get him about 3 yards closer.
If you go to the backside where kind of where the door is, it's a little easier. It's a little flatter ground over there.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And this time he is in. Derrick Henry. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
right.
Exactly.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll roll him out right. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 44 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league. They're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And the Titans getting set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
I hear
Throwing it on second down. Tannehill. And right side, Henry's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Out of the gun, Tannehill.
All right, security. So look, yeah, if you put your sparrow over here.
6 on the play.
Yeah, it's not getting the ball.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really move downfield first.
Yeah, right here, security.
Nice safe throw. And in this that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Leave alone.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tannehill getting this complete to Smith. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Put that posterity down.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to get this inside the 30. On first down, it's Tannehill. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end. Right,
sit down for a touchdown. We do the iPad.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the lead will be cut down to 14. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
They ain't gonna let you spoil it.
Even before they put the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of
Loke, do not go to orbit. Loke, do not go to orbit. That's the lead if you're going to go to orbit.
We did indeed. I think we're down to 9.
God damn you.
The first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Another run here with Dobbins. Dobbins fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Stop.
And they take a knee. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
Today's final
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they?
I mean,
what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
Alright, so I'll run operator. Loke, if you want to do dark side scanner or light side, either way.
Yeah, I'll do light side.
It's an ideal start as they move to
who else can do scanner?
Season. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll fall to
I can run it, just
and they'll get a home
fresh.
game next week.
Alright, gotta come over to dark side. You'll do dark side scanner.